Oh, hello. We are live. Greetings, grasshoppers, ladies, gentlemen, and every coordinate in between. My name is RJ Redden. Hello. And entrepreneurs hire me to skyrocket their marketing message because most feel like they're shouting into a black hole. They can't get traction online to save their lives, and they end up like a carbon copy of everybody else. So, I create epic engagement experiences that create an opportunity for people to click, connect with you, and convert like crazy. Bottom line, if you want your business to soar, probably should get the woman in the cape to go with you. And I have someone today who is not just special to the business, not just, hey, we work together. No. I look for this woman's hugs in my dreams sometimes. She is amazing. She is a genius, is I mean, my level. I call her a genius, and she's ready to help us today with some stuff. So, Denise, would you like to tell the people about yourself a little bit?
Oh, why not after that intro? Thank you so much, Redden. So much Redden. RJ Redden, my BFF. Just Redden. We just do this. This is what we do. We go Redden, we go Powers. It's just what we do. It just spits right out. So I am Denise M. Powers, and entrepreneurs hire me to master core communication. Why? Because most they're losing it on the sales side and they are suffering with very poor conversions because they aren't speaking their buyer's language. So I help them ignite authentic conversations for authentic sales. Bottom line, RJ, you can sell anything without selling a thing. It is that simple. It's
Oh,
not sleazy, it's not sneaky, it's not underhanded. It is truly authentic because you have been able to recognize who the person is in front of you. You can speak their language and help them get to their yes or their no, whichever fits them. Sales is not always about getting the yes. In my opinion, it's about honoring your buyer and helping them reach their yes or their no.
well,
So
and
that's me.
I mean, when people have a clear no, hey, it ain't time anyway. You know what I
Exactly.
mean? This
Yep.
is sales is
Yep.
not about turning a no into a yes. It's
No.
not.
No, it is not. And too many people do that. And I got to be honest, too many sales trainers teach that. Too many sales trainers teach that. My business partner and partner in crime, Jane Powers, is also a real estate broker. She gets calls every day from people soliciting, can we buy this property? Can we buy that property from you? And the tactics they use, she literally will tell them that is the worst sales script on the planet. You really probably don't want to do that because it's so underhanded. It is so underhanded. And it's just not, and people are tired of that.
They're tired of it, they're alienated by it, and with the world events here,
Oh,
2021 is the year where people see fakeness a mile off.
I think you are oh man, oh man, oh man. Yes, that is 2021. And we have a very good understanding of that, don't we?
Oh, perhaps just a tiny bit.
just a
Holy
smidge.
moly. Yeah, well, so let's back up a bit. For all of those
Yeah.
of you watching, we are here to talk about core communications and core sales. This conversation is intended to give you a little basics on that, and also to introduce to you the fact that I have a challenge coming. Yes. 5-day challenge. September 27th is when it starts at Skyrocket Your Sales. And this woman right next to me, right here, is going to be hanging out with us on that challenge and helping us. And I'm so excited to have her. She is, well, the nicer half of the Powers team. Is Jane watching this anyway?
Oh, she will later.
Oh, she probably will later. Okay. The non-redheaded half
Oh,
of the power
that's
suite.
okay. She does say that. She does say that. She goes, "Everybody just likes Denise better." Oh, she's so nice. She's like, "I'm nice." It's
Exactly.
our little
Well,
joke.
in a
It's
different
our
way.
little joke.
But you guys have come up with a system of in the very peanut shell form, a system of discovering somebody else's communication language and speaking in that language to them rather
Mhm.
than one size fits all marketing, which if you've
Right.
ever watched me for 5 minutes, you know I hate it. And so how did you guys come up with this? What is it? Give us some basics.
Okay, so Jane has been a professional speaker and sales trainer for nearly 30 years, over 30 years, 30 years. It's around 30. And what Jane realized early on is she did a lot of cold selling. She worked in the employment industry, so she would go to people. Um, and she really started picking up on, we all have personalities. And there's 1,000 personality assessments out there, and you can break them down into as simple as 4. You can go as detailed as 9, 16. But there really are core personality traits that people have, that it's part of who they are in their personal life and in their business life. And what she realized is there tend to be of these in these 4, there are the serious action takers who just they get stuff done. I
Yeah.
mean, they just take action, they move. They're not always the best about following detail. They cannot stand it because it takes too darn long to get through. But they are like, "Okay, let's go. Let's get stuff done." Then you have those who are all about detail, very detail oriented, very traditional, very conservative, very systematic, methodic in their thinking and the way they do things. And those two people, you cannot talk to those two people the same at all. At all. If you're like, hey, come on, let's move, let's go, let's shake, to the second person with all the detail, oh, forget it. You've turned them off, you've lost them. Then there's a whole nother set of people who are so heart-centered. They are the people who are in charge of and run nonprofits. They
Mhm.
are, um, Cynthia Kersey, her foundation and everything she does, the work she does for kids in Africa. So you've got very heart-centered people who are so about community and harmony, and everyone is happy and gets along. Then you have those who are our scientists, our doctors. They are so smart, and they are, as our code calls them, they are experts in everything. So Jane likes to refer to them very lovingly as our know-it-alls.
Yeah.
And again, so if you look at these 4 different types of people, they're very different. And you cannot you cannot talk to every single one of them in the same way, which is typically what people do because we have a code. We have a personality trait that we follow. We're either a go getter or we're very into the details and we take our time, or we just, the heart centered ones, not always that great with structure.
Mm.
Uh, to say it nicely, and our experts, they're just very different. But most people speak from who they are. They know who they are, and it's natural how they talk to people. So if you think about it, they are matching up with one or maybe 2 of those codes, but it means they're excluding the other 2 or 3. So people don't realize this. So, and that's what the core communication system does.
Well, and for all of those out there who are thinking about, "Oh, what's my target market? Who am I aiming this program at? Who am I talking to here?" All very good questions, but
Mhm.
super powered when you can add core sales to it because not only do you know some of the demographics and the psychographics of your people, but then you also know how to communicate with those people as well. Um,
Exactly, exactly. Yeah, because, for example, we have a client who has, she used to be a manager in a dental office, and she now is a coach, and she works with dental offices. So that is her target market with those managers, those people in the dental offices. Guess what she had to figure out? Those people mostly they are those detailed, structured, traditional, this systematic. So she's got to know how to talk to them. She herself personally is not that code. Like she has a part of it. She has a part of it, but her dominant code is something else. So she really had to learn how to, okay, this is how I have to address them because this is who they are. So these are their personalities. And sure, you get a few, that have other codes in them for sure. I mean, that's just people. But overall, it's like, okay, all right, we get this. So she has had huge success because she knows how to talk to them. She gets it.
yeah. Well, and it's like, it's like how way back when I used to describe, kind of the, I would describe chatbots to people, and I would say that it's like skipping to the 5th date.
Hmm.
Because you know what I mean? The good stuff's
Yeah,
already going on, hopefully, I don't
exactly.
know, but, I mean, that in this core sales, it's all about skipping all of the stuff up front where you're trying to figure out, a whole lot of things at once. You can learn to pick up on what someone's code is
Hmm.
through their Zoom background, through,
Yep,
the way they dress, the way they talk, what they talk about, what they choose to bring forward, I mean, those things, it's such a great key to be able to just zoom in on someone's language and then start speaking that to a person.
right.
It yeah.
Exactly.
So
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it's very simple. You could ask a simple question to someone. What are the three most important things to you? That question alone, depending on the answers you get, you have a 95% chance of nailing which code they are, just with that one question alone.
yeah.
And then you get into more conversation and, anyone, you know, you you get anyone who starts talking about family and their kids and how guess what? They're those heart-centered people. Done, done. And it doesn't mean that they don't have some of the other, but
Right.
that's their main one. So you've got to know how to relate to them.
You do because, like I said, 21 is the year where we just recognize, we recognize fakeness from a mile away. When you can talk to someone in their own language, you can give them something to grab onto. It's a whole different level of relationship instantly. And
It
that's what I
is.
love about it, because the shorter I can cut to the chase,
Mhm,
the shorter someone will know this person's right for me, this person's not right for me.
mhm.
Um,
I
and
agree.
and when
I agree.
too, when you're thinking about this, and my brain just applies it to all kinds of things, as I know that yours has too.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
apply it to networking a lot.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Because I meet a lot of people who aren't in my target, but they still
Mhm,
need something. But I know a lot
mhm.
of other people who are in that target zone, and I can introduce them accordingly. It gives a lot more power, I think, to the introductions that I make as well.
Well, it really does, and when you determine, like you have and like we have determined there are a couple of codes that we really truly prefer. I
Yeah.
mean, Jane is that action taker.
Mhm.
So we love those because they are ready. They're ready to go. They know what they want and they do what you say to do. And they go, Perfect. I got the results I was looking for.
Yeah.
And, so as you learn this, you also as a coach, as a consultant, as a practitioner, you get to look at your audience and go, this one actually really bugs me. They're challenging, they're difficult. I don't want to work with those. I mean, we have a few clients, our VIP clients will come, and I go through, I take their website, and I can pick up exactly on what they want, who they want. I then have a conversation with them because, of course, they've created it in their default code. So it's very specific to one code. I have a conversation with them and say, okay, well, do you enjoy working with these people, with these people, with these people? Yes, actually, these people over here, I really do. These over here, I can't stand.
Yeah.
I then go back into their website and I end up I code it. So I add in the right languaging to hit the right people that they want to work with. That's it. It is, it's so easy. It's so easy. I think, I think part of the problem is people they have such a stigma against sales because it has been done so tacky since the beginning of time. And that's not what this is. So I love it when people get it and they go, "Oh my gosh, this is ridiculously easy." I'm like, "I know, right?"
Well, and for me, it's very like it's like this. If you walked up to a group of 4 different people, "Lindsay, hey, how you doing, sister-in-law?" Um, if you walked up to a group of 4 different people and they all spoke a different language and you said hello and they all kind of looked at you like, I'm not quite sure what that was. Now, most people do know
Yeah.
English, but many, many people do.
Right.
But
Right.
the other thing is that when somebody's talking to me and I don't know necessarily who they are yet, if they spoke to me in a different language, I would not know whether to trust them or not. And I
Exactly.
probably would skew towards not. But when
Exactly.
somebody's speaking my language, I can then, evaluate. I can go, okay, is this a trustable person? Is this not? What's
Mhm.
going on here? Um, and so it's like that with these sales languages. With I call them the 4 sales languages
Mhm.
because I want to, and you've allowed me to do that. So, uh, call them the 4 sales languages, and it's really true. When I start to know, what that is, then I can speak at a level in which is way deeper than what we could have gone,
Mhm.
10 minutes beforehand.
Right.
Um, and so that's really what is exciting about that.
I agree. I agree. And it's funny. It's first and foremost, well, no, I'm not even going to say that. It's so beneficial with for, clearly for sales. I
Mhm,
mean, so beneficial. But this is a communication. This is a whole form of communication. This branches out to people in relationships, to people's friendships, to kids. I'm a former elementary school teacher. And what I know now with CORE, I have been able to look back at every group of kids that I taught, and I have been able to pick out each personality in
mhm,
them. Now, clearly, it's going to be different with children because your languaging is different. But guess what? Now that I know that, I see a big reason why I struggled with management in my classroom, which I did. I am one of those heart-centered, bleeding heart people. I just want them to be happy. And guess what? In a classroom, yeah, you need structure and boundaries. Now I understand that now. I could go back into the classroom now and it would be a completely different experience. So this is really something when you learn it, you just, we we had you remember Cat and Barry. Oh,
oh,
our dear Barry, who's not with us anymore. Cat and Barry went on vacation one time and they messaged us and said, "We have always people watched and it was so much fun and now we are coding and it is even more fun because it's even more challenging." And you go, "Okay, this person, that person, that person, that person." And oh my goodness, they had a blast with it. They had a it's just that easy. Once you get the hang of it, you're just like, "Oh, I understand who you are, and I know how to talk to you because I know what your values are. And as a coach, I also know what your weaknesses are.
Yeah.
So I know what things you are going to struggle with.
Yeah.
So I'm either going to not put those things in front of you, or I have to put those things in front of you, but I've got a whole new way of you addressing them, a whole new way of you looking at them because you get it."
Yeah.
So it's truly it's just across the board, but oh, for sales, it just makes a world of difference. It shortcuts your conversation like crazy.
Well, and it's that element of trust.
Absolutely.
Once somebody
And
knows that I'm talking their
yes,
language, yeah.
and in this world we are in today, people don't trust each other. People don't trust anything. They don't trust anything. They don't trust the government. They don't trust science. They don't trust this. They don't trust that. That's just the state we're in because of what has occurred. People are not trusting. So it really is. It is an authentic way to establish that relationship and develop that trust.
Yeah, and really reach through a huge barrier that people don't even know they have.
I agree. I so agree with you. Yeah, a lot of people just don't even realize it.
Yeah. I think one of the most important things to me about core is that I've recognized who not to invite into the inner circle. You know what I'm saying to you right
Yes, yes, I do.
now.
And
Mhm.
again, that's yeah, that's there, you know what? There are people we don't want to work with. There are
It's
people we
true.
don't want to work with. And you know what? You don't have to. I'm going to say it again. You don't have to. You truly don't have to. Why should you have to work with people who don't fit who you are? Uh, I mean, if you don't have to be friends with people who don't fit who you are, why do you have to work with people who don't fit who you are? I mean, it's that simple. Of course, it's your choice, but now you know and you can discern.
And there are people out there who would be, gasp about what we just said, and
Oh,
small business
totally.
owners who are like, I got to take everything that comes my way. Let me tell
Yep.
you something. It
Yep.
it only looks like you have to grab everything that comes your way. It only looks like that.
Exactly.
Be-
Exactly.
because
You
even if you
cannot
do, go ahead.
mhm. No, I was going to say, I will quote Jane, "You cannot want it more than your potential client wants it." If you want it more than your potential client, you need to reevaluate what's going on, and you need to learn core because then you can have real, true, authentic conversations and go, "Oh, this is easy," and not have to worry about that, and truly not have to worry about that.
It's true because I've done that thing where I've taken, my first couple of years of business, just take whatever comes at you. That was
Mhm.
kind of my rule,
Yep.
don't ever turn
Yeah.
down money. The thing is that if I work with someone who I know their language, I know how they feel, what they want, I could do the same thing. I could, take two people. One, they're in my zone of people who I love to work with, relators who I love to work with, the heart-centered, let's go hug a
Yep.
tree. I want to work with all
Yep.
of those people. All right. So I got one relator, and then I've got one from another category that I don't do as well working with. I could do the same exact thing for both people. And one of them is going to walk away at the end of the contract going, I guess that was okay. I will have earned money, but I'll be in the same exact place that I was before the contract because now I'm looking for another contract.
Right.
Whereas if I serve the person who I know is going to get the value of what I am serving immediately, if I serve that person's going to stay with me a long time. That person is going to
Precisely.
rave about me to their friends, and
Yep.
now I know that I need to hit that sweet spot in able to get what I
Mhm.
want, which is not just get a contract in, serve that person for a
No.
while, then they go away. That's boring to me. I want to create a thriving
Very.
tribe. I want to blast the universe with my stuff. I got
Well,
I got dreams,
yeah.
people. Yeah.
Well, yeah, well, I mean, look, there are big coaches in this industry
Oh yeah.
who we hear from people who have worked with them, and they have said, "Worst experience, biggest mistake of my life, I wasn't served." So they view that they weren't served.
Yeah.
Then we have run into other people who are like, "Oh my gosh, it was great. It was fantastic. I got everything out of it that I needed." Guess why? Those coaches don't know all of the people that they're working with. It
Yeah.
is a one size fits all program. And who are you hitting? 25, maybe 50% of your client base? You're not hitting 100%
No.
because
You're
you
not
don't know.
serving them.
And that is why people walk away from coaches just with a bad taste in their mouth because they're spending all kinds of money and they're not being served the way they need to be served.
That's right.
Avoid that. Learn this, understand how easy it is to recognize your people. And it takes little tweaks here and there. It's not like you have to majorly shift your personality and become a completely different person. It's simply language. It's simply your languaging. That's all there is.
Yeah. Language, little presentation. I know that the the when I get a certain type of customer, they want to see data, clicks, charts. That stuff makes them feel secure and that they are in good hands and here we go.
Mhm.
There's there are other types of people where I can say, "Hey, look, here are the results. Here are the people raving about you online. This is how famous you're getting." That's for my catalysts.
Mhm.
You know,
Exactly.
I mean,
Exactly.
and so when you learn the four different sales languages, when you learn them, it's so easy then to say, okay, my ideal client is one of those go 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 people, action, action, action. I know that they're going to have a lot of ideas, but they're going to probably get distracted by their new next idea and forget that they need details to put this thing into action. So I'm going to support them in that way. No matter what I
Yeah.
do, I'm gonna massively support. I know they're gonna fall down,
Yeah.
and yeah, people. It's not just sales. It's about wanting to serve that person.
It is. It really is. Yeah, and that's the thing that's so great. It's a communication system. Is it brilliant for sales?
Yeah.
Absolutely, because you want to be authentic. You don't wanna be sleazy in your sales.
No.
But is it helpful in every aspect? Yes, because when you take on clients, you understand who they are and you know how to serve them. It is not a one size fits all. It is not a one size fits all.
No.
And that is the reason people walk away disillusioned because that's what they get.
And that is why a lot of, I think, relators, people who just love to give, I think a lot of them feel nasty when it comes to trying to make a sale. They just start
Oh,
to feel like they're coming out of their skin. I had one
oh,
person describe it
yes.
a couple weeks ago, and she said that she could be going along having a great conversation with somebody. They're really, really hitting it off, and then it comes to try to making the sale, and she feels like all of a sudden she's standing on the edge of a diving board, and
Oh,
trying to convince somebody that they need to come with you,
yeah.
and that
Yeah,
is
I
that
get
is
that.
really hard. It's
Oh,
really
it's
hard.
incredibly hard. It was as a first and foremost relator, even when Jane created this core program, I was like, okay, I am super interested because I love personality.
Mhm.
I love personalities, personality descriptions, assessments, whatnot. Like, I love that. I'm super interested in that. But then she's applying it to sales, and I'm like, oh, no. No, 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 no. I don't do sales. I am one of those who has always viewed sales as, "Oh, god, no. All you're trying to do is sell me." Just,
Yeah.
no. I mean, and it took me some time. We relators do not like it. We
Mm-mm.
feel bad. We
Mm-mm.
feel bad because we're asking people for money. Well, guess what? You have to understand your services are valuable.
Yeah.
And that's just the bottom line. They're valuable and you need to. It's your business. A lot of relators have a hard time focusing on it being a business. So
Yes.
that's a huge challenge for relators.
Oh my gosh. Well, if you're just popping on here, we are talking about the subject of my next challenge. Starts on September 27th. Click the link in the description and sign up, people. It's free. It's fabulous. And it's going to be a lot of fun. We're talking about a different framework for doing sales in your business. My big core code is relator. I'm sure everybody knows that. And a lot of the people that I attract also relators, also coaches
Mhm.
who want to, you know what, they all know logically, they all know this is a business and that you have to
Right,
have money to run a business. Like,
right.
sometimes people will tell me that and I'll think, you idiot, of course I knew that. I mean, who doesn't know that logically? But it takes, on the way from that knowledge to go from your head to your heart, there's some detours. Okay.
Oh,
Uh,
yes.
every bad sales thing we have ever sat
Yep.
through. Anytime we feel pressured into making a decision before we're ready, anytime we feel like there's oh my god, urgency, or false urgency going on, or somebody saying they make a lot more than they do, or
Mhm.
showing off a
Oh,
Ferrari or whatever,
yeah.
all of that stuff has made sales into such a, I will say, just bastardized subject. I mean, just on the
Yep.
untouchable. We will not talk about this.
Right.
So what are some ways, because you're a relator too, Denise, what are
Mhm.
some ways that you've gotten around that for yourself?
So when I finally convinced this up here,
Yes.
when I finally convinced my mind that I know my stuff, I am authentic, I understand it, I can teach it, I can serve, and but I'm not a volunteer. I had to get that through my head because honestly, one of the big traits of relators is they are volunteers. Majority of your people who volunteer, they are relators or they have a heavy, relator in them. And so that's naturally what we are used to. It's what we're used to feeling, it's what we're used to thinking of ourselves. And when I finally got past that point to say, okay, when I'm over here, I am volunteering. I do some work over here on the side for so and so. But when I'm here, and I'm doing this, it is a business. It is not a hobby. I'm not just doing it for free. And so but you have to clear that up in your mind first. And that's a challenge for a lot of relators.
Well, and I think that for me, definitely I've had that challenge. And then the other thing that I smack up against a lot is,
Mhm.
well, if you're going to charge for something, it has to be perfect.
Oh, yes.
Oh my
Yes. That tends to be another trait. That is very true. See, this is the thing. Oh, I hope people jump into your challenge because my gosh, what you are going to give them and the little bit that I'm on, there are so many traits to each of these codes that can be beneficial, but can be detrimental when you're an entrepreneur. I have learned that. And yes, perfectionism, oh Lord, that's a whole nother thing. But that does tend to be a that does say I have noticed that does tend to be more of a relator thing. I've just observed that in the, people that I've met that I can recognize are relators. And that's a big thing. I spent a lot of time in my classroom rearranging stuff on my walls because it was not perfect.
Yes, exactly.
So, yeah. And it's not a huge benefit, but you can get away with that in a job sometimes. As an entrepreneur, you just can't. You will do nothing but continue to work to get ready. As Jane says, we'll get ready to then get ready to then get ready to then to really get ready. And
Let's
the action
really
never comes.
examine this now.
Let's really. Exactly.
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 Yeah, for me, that was one of the big hurdles because, my one code is relator, but my other one's expert, and those are the folks that get ready
Yeah.
to get ready to get ready to get ready. And so
Bingo.
overcoming that and helping myself see that really this is not sales is not what we think it is.
Nope.
Sales is something that happens from the moment you meet someone. It's
Exactly.
it's not just when money
Exactly.
changes hands. Yeah.
Yeah. No.
They have
No,
said
it's
yes to you 27 times before they pay you.
mhm.
And
Mhm.
so when you know that, then you know that it's not that a sudden change in the conversation does not have to happen, in fact.
Mhm.
That a way to draw people in is absolutely to keep inviting them further into your circle until there needs to be some money happening.
Mhm. I agree. I agree. And you're right. Sales is not, sales, of course, traditionally and mostly, I suppose, is about business. But think about it. If you're a parent, you're selling.
You
You
are.
are selling your kids on what they should do, what they shouldn't do, what they need to. I mean, you are selling. If you are a teacher in a classroom, you are selling. It just, it's what we do. We just don't view that as sales. We associate sales with business
Mhm.
and we don't view it that way. But it truly, that's what it is. We're doing it constantly.
Exactly. Well, and here's a couple of other ways because I'm not a parent, I'm not a teacher.
Right.
But if you have ever recommended a restaurant to another human being,
Oh,
congratulations,
bingo.
you're a seller.
You have sold.
Um, you know, if
Exact
you have ever
You're
talked
so
about
right.
your favorite movie to someone and they've ended up going to see that
Yep,
movie, congratulations, you've made a sale. You haven't made any
exactly,
money, but you made a sale. And
exactly. And think about it. If you're trying to get someone on board with your perspective, guess what you're doing?
you're selling.
You're trying to sell them on your perspective. It's you're right. It's all selling, which is the biggest reason why I love this system is there isn't any aspect of business, whether it's being a salesperson, whether it's being a CEO, whether it's being a manager, whether it's being a team leader, whether it's being a parent, whether it's being a teacher, a nurse, a doctor. It does not matter. There's this core communication covers everywhere, everywhere. There's nowhere that it doesn't fit because it's just communication.
Yes. It's finding where people are at, finding what their natural attitudes and predispositions are, knowing what are the benefits of that personality, what are the problems that typical personality has, and then working within those boundaries.
Mhm.
Um, it's just it's been so good in my business because now, like I said, I can absolutely target down to a T the people that I wanna
Right.
work with and that they wanna work with me. I've done a lot of work on that. I mean, if you're an entrepreneur, you've probably done some work on this. If
Oh,
not,
yeah.
I have people to recommend, come talk to me. Thanks for stopping by, Lindsay. And yeah, I mean, everybody's done a lot of work on this, hopefully. Core gave it a whole new aspect. It's not just, "Oh, I know facts about these people that I'd like to attract."
Right.
It's,
Right.
"Now how are you gonna talk to them? Now
Right.
how are you going to help them understand that you're a trustable person, help them to understand that you understand their problem, and help them to understand that you are gonna be an excellent person to choose to help them."
Right. Right.
Without
Exactly.
the
And it's
communication,
yep.
you're off.
Oh, very, very. And you and I, as experts also, we appreciate fact. We need fact. We need facts. We need statistics. We need to see proof. But, oh my goodness, don't try and give that to a couple of the other codes. They could
No.
care less. They
Yeah.
do not care less. And here's the thing, there's a saying, you only get one chance to make a first good impression.
Yeah.
You start spewing out facts and statistics to a catalyst over here, you have lost them completely.
Yep.
There's no getting them back. So it's that, you know, it's just you've just got to know who your people are, because statistics and facts may be very important to you. They are to us, but you and I know who to give those to and who to not even bother with,
Yeah.
because they will walk away immediately. And that's the thing. You get one shot. You get one shot. And if you can't reach them, they're gone.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, oh, I can't wait for your challenge. This is going to be so much fun.
It's gonna be a great challenge. Thank you for participating and being willing to come along and really give some people some awesome stuff, because obviously you will do that.
Thank
And
you. And you are welcome. This is fun.
oh yeah,
I love core. I absolutely love core. It is my favorite aspect of this business that we are in. I just love it.
it really is. And it has added so much to my life that I just want to pass it on to people, that sales
Right.
does not have to be sleazy McSleaze pants. Sales,
Because Yeah, because we as relators, we want to share.
we want to
We want to
share.
share the good news.
Yes. We want to, you know,
Mhm.
if it were up to me and I didn't have to make a living, I'd give it all away. How many times have I
Oh, yeah.
heard that?
Mhm.
And
Yep.
I know, I know when hearing that now how to react to really help that person, understand that it doesn't have to be. It can be an exciting thing when you sit down and invite someone to a party. It's kind of exciting.
Mhm. Oh,
You're writing out the
totally.
invitation, you're like, "Ooh, what would this person do if we played this kind of music? Oh, cool. I'll write a note to play that kind of music at the party. Oh, I better have the vegan sandwiches ready because you know how this one is." Okay, all the
Mhm.
stuff. You think about that person when you're writing out that invitation. What core
Mhm.
can do is make sales as simple as writing out the invitation to a party.
Exactly. Exactly.
Simple, exciting.
Absolutely.
If they
Mhm.
turn you down, they turn you down, not a big deal.
Mhm.
But it is making sales simple and accessible to even people who just don't even want to sell anything ever for the rest of their lives.
Right. Right. Exactly. 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 And it's easy. It's easy, people. Trust me.
Yeah. Well, I want to thank you from the bottom of my heart for coming on and chatting with me on the Facey Bookie and other places where we're streaming right now. Want to encourage you all. It's in the description. The link is to come join the challenge.
Mhm.
And I think if you just hit up skyrocketyourSales.com, that the page will come up anyway. So
Right.
go ahead, do that. Join us. We are going to be hanging out in our group as well until the challenge. And so if you've got any questions, I'm ready to serve,
Yep.
ready to spread the message about core. And
And
that's it. Do you have any?
I am in there and I will jump in too. So this will be great.
Yay!
Thank you so much, RJ.
All right, darling. We're going off the air, everybody. Thank you for
We'll see
hanging
you
out with
soon.
us today.
Bye, everybody.